Yo, what is going on, fans and coaches of the ASL? My name is Hutcher322 here, and I'm bringing you yet another video. Today, guys, I have you the ASL Season 4 Week 13 playoff implications. If you guys are like, why are you doing playoff implications if the playoffs are already set? Well, it's kind of like a playoff implications, and it's kind of like just a playoff bracket. So it's basically going to show you guys what's going on, like what happened with the bracket, what fell into place, and basically I'll have a sprite of each team's best mon in terms of how well they used it throughout the season, whether they still have it on their team or not. So yeah, well, how well each coach used each mon. But either way, it's just going to show you how the playoff bracket shaped up. So at number 14, we had the Washington Wailords, who lost his final match only 1-0 to the St. George Dragonites. And although Cam did not have Primarina, he dropped Primarina at about it was like the deadline, so like week 10, but he still used it to, it was probably his best mon. It was his best mon, 9-9. He brought it to like every single match, and it was really a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, Cam did not have the best season, finished at 1-12, but I'm pretty sure he learned a lot throughout the season. And he was in his draft, he was sniped a lot, so hopefully he gets a snipe free draft, because I would love to see Cam play with a draft that he's like 100% happy with, because he does make good plays, and it's just unfortunate to see him go 1-12, but that is the reality of it. So then for the number 13 spot, we have the PC Barcelona, coached by Shadow, and they did lose 2-0 at their final match. Not a bad loss to Kiester. And also, by the way, I will be talking about at the very end, like the playoff matchups, because all these teams are not done. They are not done. Like even 7 through 14, they all get consolation bracket play. So Shadow did finish at 2-11 with a -34. He only got one win coming into the season, but he did get a win, so he has that to build on for next season. And the best mon that he did end up using was a Raconid, I believe it's 6 and 8, and he really loved that stockpile rest set, ultimately helping him with that swift dodging the Tyrantrim's head smashes, I believe in like week 5 or whenever it was, but that was like the first match that he came in, and he did win it. So Raconid was definitely his best mon, and he didn't finish the season all that well, to be honest. He lost like 8 or 7 or so in a row. But hopefully he can get some wins in the consolation bracket to build on for next season. Then at number 12, we have the Melodic, and jumping over the PC Barcelona for sure due to their big win over the Zagreb Zangoose. And Static has his Mega Gyarados as his best mon at 7-6, or it was 8-7. It was one of the two. But I was so happy to see Static 5-0 Marin. No offense, Marin, but it's just to see Static really tried in that game, and to see him back at the caliber that I expect Static to play at, it was really awesome to see. And he turned the tables for playoffs. So you guys are seeing this now. Just wait till you see when we work our way down. Stuff got crazy this week. So he finished off the season very well, and I don't know if he'll be returning next season, but he has a lot to build on with that. So hopefully he can carry that momentum into the consolation bracket. So then we have Malone and the St. Louis Swablues, which it really hurts that Malone isn't in the playoffs. I've said this a lot because he was really catching fire towards the end of the season. But his best mon was Tornado Therian at 10-7. And he did lose to Ian to end out the season, but he did eliminate Ian, so he could say he was a spoiler in this season, and he got rid of Ian. If he would have lost, Ian would have been eliminated regardless, just because of how stuff shaped up. But Malone easily at his best season yet, so he should very much be proud of that, and carry the momentum that he had like in the TCP game or the game that he beat me. Carry that into the consolation bracket. And I might want to add that Malone beat 3 of the top 4 teams. He's looking like Gustavo, because like Gustavo last year beat the top 2 teams, but he beat myself 1-0. He beat Anderson 1 or 2-0. Then he beat TCP 4-0. Like, if we want to go about matchup, he should be in the playoffs. he has beat more tough teams than anyone has, except for EN. No, he's beat better teams than EN. I don't even know, but either way, Malone has had a very good season that he should be proud of. Then at number 10, we actually have the Utah Hoots. They lost 2-0, and honestly, Susie could have won the game very, very easily. He could have won the game, but he was playing in the sense that he had to 6-0, so that's how he did end up losing. And Mega Scizor was his best mon at 8-6. I want to say, kind of confident. So yeah, he did take the 2-0 loss because Kiester just a freaking monster, but he played the game in the sense that he had to get a 6-0 sweep, so that probably differed his play. But he was very close to getting the sweep, but Memento Doug Trio is kind of yikes. So yeah, Susie did have a pretty. I will say that the game against TJ, if weekly recap hasn't gone up yet, but you guys need to look forward to that game. That game was hype, easily the best game of the season in my opinion, just because of how stressful the game was to watch. Because Susie couldn't let him on die. So definitely recommended, and yeah, Susie, it was a very exciting way to end the season, I will say that. Then at 9, we have the Arcane Arcanines. Despite winning 2 to end off the season, 2 pretty decent wins, might I add. Ian just did not have enough to push him into the playoffs. His differential just simply was not high enough. But Cobalion at 12-6, nominated for a couple of awards, or for one award. I don't really know, but they should be going up after awards. So yeah, but Ian, he had a very good end to his season. If he didn't lose 5-0 to me, if he only lost 1-0, he still wouldn't have gotten in, but it would have made it a lot more interesting. But yeah, Ian had a decent season. He just started so slow. I believe he was 2-5 at one point, which just really killed his hopes. And finishing 7-6 after going 2-5 or whatever it was, that's pretty impressive, I will say. But it's hard to rebound after starting that slow. But he did make a very good attempt and got himself lodged in the middle of the playoff race, which was very exciting to see. And then at the 8th spot, we have the Silverhemians and TJ. Who else to represent this team but Kiester, the man, the myth, the legend, 17-1. And if I didn't add, Cobalion was 12-6, but Kiester was 17-1. TJ only brought it to 5 games, but oh my god, it doesn't matter. It's 17 kills. Are you kidding me? And then TJ did lose 4-0 to Ian, which that game ultimately kept him out of playoffs. But beating Susie was probably a nice motivation booster just to keep him going, to get him into the consolation bracket, because TJ was already eliminated before he played the game against Susie, so he was probably just playing for a Kiester sweep just to try and see how many kills he can rack up, and he got 6 kills in the match, so very, very impressive indeed. And TJ came very close. I mean, all of these 7-6 teams came very, very close. It was a matter of differential. That just goes to show you how big differential is, and people should not take it for granted earlier in the season. So yeah, TJ definitely had a good season. It's just the differential came up a little short. And then for the 7th spot, we have the Zagreb Zangoose. And Marin was knocked out of playoffs after losing to Static, and Kiester won his match. So that knocked him out despite a big win over Shadow. Yeah, just Marin just lost just too much. I mean, even if he would have lost minimally, even if he lost 1-0, he still doesn't get a playoff spot just because Kiester did end up winning. So it was just Static playing at his best, and it's just unfortunate for Marin probably, because he went into this week with a prime position to lock up a playoff spot, but he just couldn't get it done. But Tapu Fini being his best mon, 11-8, which is tied with Volcarona, but Tapu Fini was brought to more games, so it had a bigger presence on the field. So yeah, Marin probably disappointed the way he ended the season. Just losing 5-0 and losing a spot in the playoffs is definitely rough when you're going into the final week with a playoff spot, but it's something to build on. Sorry if you guys heard that. Battery is low on the headset right now. Let me grab a charger. But yeah, it's something to build on to go forward. And yeah, he's gonna be definitely a candidate for winning the consolation bracket. Let me go to the next slide and then plug in my headset. Alright, got it charging. So, we have at the 6th spot, which is the first playoff spot, we have the Phoenix Flagons, coached by Kiester, picking up their win over Shadow. 2-0, it really didn't matter how much they won by, they were clinching as long as Marin lost. So, they did win, and Kiester's best mon was Registeel at 10-5. So, Kiester getting the 2 wins at the end of the season, which it was probably just awesome for him because he lost like 4 in a row at one point or something. He went on a very, very sour streak. So it was good to see him get back into the swing of things, and he's going to need to carry all of that momentum if he wants a chance at moving on to the second round, since he is going to be playing TCP. So Kiester did what he needed to do, which gave him a playoff spot, which he deserved. And then for the 5th spot, we have the London Lapras and Cody. And I know I'm not going into this very in depth because it's just showing like what already happened. So his best mon, easily Conch Elder, 10-1. He only used it for 3 games, but 10-1. Come on. And Cody, although he did lose 3-0, he did lock up a playoff spot, and he does get the 5th seed instead of Kiester because Cody beats him out in a head-to-head tiebreaker. It was Gumby or Cody. Either way, the team won against the Phoenix Flagons, so Cody does have the tiebreaker there, so he still holds the 5th spot. As he did lose to myself, 3-0, but it was just a meme game. We didn't really care the outcome because we were gonna play each other anyways in the next round. So it really didn't matter. We didn't really want to show off our sets. So yeah, Cody did play well towards the end of the season. He only lost 1 game, which was the last game. So he went 3-1 in his first season of the ASL. So definitely not bad. And then for the 4th spot, you have the Portland Timbers, myself, Hydreigon, my best mon, 14-5. So I did what I needed to do to secure playoffs. I had already secured playoffs last week. So really just went into the match against Cody, trying to have fun, brought a lot of cool sets. You guys will see it on Weekly Recap. All of the sets are memey, and they're pretty fire, might I add. But yeah, just I ended well. I started very, very poorly. I started 1-3 and worked it back to 9-4. Went 8-1 over my last 9 games, only losing to Malone because Linoon is, we'll call it busted for now. So yeah, that's I would have got the bye if I would have just preserved a Ferrothorn. Either way, enough talk about me. So yeah, did what I needed to do. Got 2 3-0 wins to carry into the playoffs. And then at 3rd, you have the Hartford Whalers, coached by TCP. 9-4 plus 27 beats me out in a differential tiebreaker. He has such a higher differential than me. Only beating Anderson by 1-0. So TCP did not get the bye. He had to beat Anderson 2-0 or better, and he only won 1-0. So Anderson is 2 differential points higher than him, which is why TCP is sitting at the 3rd spot. But Latios was 12-4. I want to make an educated guess. And Latios did get a big sweep. It was like a Calm Mind 6-0, I think, something like that. But he did take a nice win over Anderson, which I know is just a tier B game, but beating Anderson under any terms is very hard. So TCP should definitely be proud of that. Really recovered after the big loss against Malone. So he's going to finish off the season with a win. And then for the first round bye, we have Anderson, the St. Louis Samurott, and 9-4 with a plus 29. Like I said, he beat out TCP by only giving up a 1-0 loss. So that was probably relieving for him. So although he lost, he still gets the first round bye, which is probably what he wants, because guarantees him to semis, and he only needs to win one game and he's already in the finals. So it's definitely probably relieving for him. But yeah, he's going to be in a bracket with TCP anyways. So they did not show off everything. So Anderson probably doesn't really care that he lost to TCP at all. They probably were just showing off some cool tier B sets, since they don't want to show off anything that they could potentially use against each other in the semifinals should it happen. So Anderson, best mon, easily Infernape, 17-6, just absolutely decimated its opponents. And then last but not least, definitely not least, we have the number 1 team. We have EN, who clinched the number 1 seed in like week 10 or something like that. And the St. George Dragonites, 12-1, a plus 29. Can we get a round of applause for EN for holding the best single season record in the ASL, formerly held by TG, 11-2 at a plus 32, if I want to guess. So EN did not beat him in differential, but he did beat him in record, 12-1, only losing to Anderson. So if you're going to lose one game all season, Anderson is not a bad person to lose to. So he did win 1-0 against Cam. And yeah, he's got the number 1 seed by far. He beat Anderson by 3 games. So his Kartana, dude, his Kartana was ridiculous, 28-3. And I swear, if there are people in the playoffs that give this thing like 3 kills or more, I'll be disappointed, because that'll mean that you did not prep for this thing. If you've not prepped for it yet, you are doing something wrong with your life. It is 28 kills. We need to settle this thing down. We need to settle it down. So EN, although he did take a loss very late in the season, so he did not complete the perfect record, which is yet to be done, he did end with a win, which is obviously a confidence booster. So he will get the first round bye along with Anderson to end out the season. So here's the playoff picture, and basically here are the wild card round matchups. You have the Hartford Whalers against the Phoenix Flygons. You have the Portland Timbers against the London Lapras. You have the Zagreb Zangoose against the Washington Wailords. You have the Slow Bohemians against the PC Barcelona. You have the Arcane Arcanines against the Inner Melodic. You have the Utah Hoots against the St. Louis Swablues. So the wild card round, we will have 6 matches. And then in the semifinals, oh, this says week 12. Hold up. Change that real quick. So then in the semifinals, it will be EN playing the winner of, or the St. George Dragonites playing the winner of the Portland Timbers and the London Lapras. The St. Louis Samurai will play the winner of the Hartford Whalers and the Phoenix Flygons. And then it really depends how it shapes up. I don't really know the constellation bracket exactly, but you guys will be able to see in weekly recap. I'll try and explain it a little bit more in weekly recap when we get around to that point. But thank you guys all for watching this video. I know Susie isn't here again. It's just life's busy. You guys gotta understand. So yeah, that is going to be the video, and thank you guys all for watching, and see you guys in the next video, which should be weekly recap. Either way, goodbye, see you guys in the next one.